still have that Caleb Williams interview?
Here we go. Which one?
Caleb Williams, the Chicago Bears quarterback from about 3 weeks ago.
I'll have to check.
Yeah, please do. Just on that one. That's the only one I would add in.
You already shown, man. It's Deion Dawkins, and you listening to the Real Deal Sports Show on the Beat 105.5.
It's here. Welcome back. It's football season. Hey, we even got even more sports to talk about. How about that, everybody? Welcome to Real Deal Sports Show with the Rad Man, coming to you live each and every Saturday morning from the Rock Pawnbroker Studios here in Rochester, New York. To our legion of fans and people, sports fans and people all across the country listening to the show. Get ready, get your seatbelt on, because we're about to get it in this morning. Yes, indeed. We're about to get it in. Also, like and subscribe to the show. Rick, welcome back. Rick, where you been? Where you been, my man? I ain't seen you in months of Sundays. But I'm glad you're back in. Wherever you are across the country, listening to the show, join us. But my man, Rick is on the point. My man is back on point. Welcome to the show, and we're going to get it in this morning. We open it up with Rad Man, Rad Style, J-GILLZ. Good morning to you, Kevin. Kevin Cheeks down there in Raleigh, North Carolina, listening to the show. Good morning to you too, Kevin. And Kevin, I know you were raised properly. I know we were raised properly. You don't spit in another man's face or on another man. You don't spit on another woman or anybody, for that matter. Man, what was Jalen Carter thinking about? I didn't get in to see the game until almost halftime. I was out and about handling business, I did a couple other shows during the week. Jonesy and Brown out of Philadelphia. Thank you for having me as a guest on your show this week, talking Buffalo Bills football and talking the NFL. Thank you for that guest appearance on your show down there in Philly. And that what is going on where a guy gonna spit on a man before the game even start? I mean, why wasn't he in his own huddle? You're supposed to be with the ball. He was 5 yards past the ball. He was damn near in the Dallas Cowboys huddle. So what was he thinking about walking to the huddle of his opponent? And then he gets over there. And he says to the man, did he spit on you? He said, man, did you try to spit on me? And the man, Dak, you can see he obviously spit on the ground. If you wasn't been standing near there, it wouldn't have been near you because you were in the wrong place to begin with. So obviously Dak says something back to him. And then the guy all of a sudden spits on him. And then the thing what got me is, that's right, Kevin Cheek said, no, you don't. You don't spit on another man. Then he spits on him. The referee right there throws the flag, ejects him from the game. I mean, this man got dressed up, worked out, stretched out, broke a sweat, all to do nothing. And then he cost his team because Dak had all day to throw. Dak looked really good because the pressure wasn't there. And I remember when the Bills played in Philly 2 years ago, it was a rainy night. It rained the whole day, all day there in Philly. It was a 4:25 kickoff, and me and J-GILLZ were in the press box, and it was just wet. It was big puddles. We tried to get back to our car in the parking lot. It was puddles everywhere. But Jalen Carter, the Bills ran a trap play. They laid Jalen Carter out. When he left the game, man, Josh Allen had plenty of time to throw the ball. He had a great game that day. It's a shame that him and Gabe Davis wasn't on the same page because the Bills should have beat the Eagles in regulation. They outplayed them. The Bills ended up losing in overtime too, like they do. You know, they find that Sean McDermott in a tight game, he kind of threw up on himself once again. His defense couldn't get the key stops in that game. The offense should have won that game for the Bills. It was a calamity of offense and defense at the end. Bills played a great game. They should have beat the Eagles. But the point I'm trying to make, when Jalen Carter got laid out by Deion Dawkins and he didn't come back, they announced in the press he will not return. The Bills had their way with their line. And it was the same way it reminded me of the Cowboys. When he was not out there, they could run the ball. They could the Cowboys could do whatever they wanted to do. And the Cowboys offense, CeeDee Lamb, they just dropped passes. If they would have completed their passes and executed offensively, the Cowboys should have came out of there a winner in Philadelphia. But they didn't win, but they did cover the spread. And speaking of the spread, you better check out RealDealSportsShow.com, RealDealSportsShow.com. Check us out on the website. The Winner's Edge is back. We're gonna pick up some winners for you this week. Yeah, I took the 7.5. Remember, I do my picks like Monday or Tuesday on the early spread, the early line. It was 7.5. The Eagles didn't cover that. I took the Cowboys, but look, I got some other great picks for you coming up later on in the show. But keep in mind, you don't spit on another man. That's just disgusting. It's insulting, and it's totally disrespectful to yourself as well as to the person you spit on. I mean, and now people were talking on the radio about, I forgot this guy, Jalen Carter was in a car accident in college, drag racing, where the car flipped over. They brought that back up. So it's like, man, see what happens, man. You get in you get something in the NFL, and here they go dragging back your past. I thought that was unfair. Some of these other talking heads to bring up about a car accident that happened in college for drag racing that unfortunately he was involved in, but that had nothing to do with his ignorance. And then he left the field laughing. What you laughing about, man? Your dumb ass just lost a paycheck, man, and you got a big paycheck too, man. You know what's going to happen. They're going to fine him. Basically, they're probably going to fine him to whatever the equal of his paycheck. So he basically going to lose the game check from that Thursday night game. The players get paid on Mondays. After the week is over, their paychecks are in when they come in on Monday. It usually goes, direct deposit, whatever the case may be. I remember back in the day, they used to get paper checks. And I used to be amazed. Some guys walking around there, the Bills with their paper checks on a Monday, man. I used to be tripping on that. But, man, I used to see, wow, that's a lot of zeros on that account. On that check, holy smokes.
But Rad Man.
That's back in the day, Internet Passport. What's up, Internet Passport?
But Rad Man, come on. This was something I thought was utterly ridiculous. We're watching the game. I look down, maybe check my phone for a message, and I'm seeing a flag on the play, and I'm just like, well,
wait a minute, what the hell?
Something isn't adding up. Yeah. What's going on here? And the next thing you know, they showed a replay, unsportsmanlike conduct. He out the game.
What is that?
I had to see. I said, did he just spit on another man? Now this is the NFL. Football is back, baby. It's a physical sport, a violent sport. Some would even say a gladiator sport. Mm-hmm. But one thing that we all know, whether it's us, whether it's the Mighty Oba, whether it's BacSpin, whether it's Kevin Chica Rick, or Mr. Morris Thompson, we all know you cannot spit on another man. They saw that happen, right? The refs saw it happen right in front of them. They said, hey, buddy, we need you to get up out of here. We need you to get up out of here, okay? I need you. We need you to roll. No one really argued. Everyone looked and said, what did he do? Did Dak spit first? Wait, no, he spit on the ground. Then he spit on him. Oh no, buddy, we need you up out of here. After that, there will be some furniture moving, okay? It will be some furniture moving. I understand sometimes your past can come up there as well, but that's just one thing you can't do. If someone spit on you, you might as well just start fighting, man. That's the one thing I would say I would do. At least get the licks in or something there, okay? But the Eagles, somehow, they pulled away there with that win, and so now it's not going to be a cloud hanging over them. But just imagine if they would have lost. Yes. Ooh, Jalen Carter would have been the one that was getting all the verbal hits, fair or unfair, just because the game didn't even start for more than 30 seconds.
Right.
30 seconds didn't even pass of game time, and he was already up out of there. And then you know what happened? They had to go ahead and hit his pockets too with that fine. So it's just hey man, we have to do better. Let's, as you will always say there, Rad Man, let's try and do our best and always be a good sport.
And it was only 6 seconds to be exact. The fastest ejection, almost. It was one other ejection, but that took place in the pregame warmups where two guys started fighting and they both were ejected in the pregame. But this was 6 seconds into the game. I never see somebody ejected 6 seconds into any type of contest. So Jalen Carter, you the small of the show. One thing I learned from this game is Dak Prescott, maybe with Micah Parsons, might have been with that cloud of Micah Parsons going, all of a sudden Dak Prescott looks like a leader. He looks at, I mean, he was on the sideline. He was pepping his team up. He was getting things going. He looked loose. He looked confident. And he was putting the ball where it should be. He was putting up, but I must say, when you don't play in the preseason, a lot of those teams that have timing passes and things where it's timing involved with your passing game, I think CeeDee Lamb just looked like a victim of not playing in the preseason. You don't, because when you go into real reps, the preseason is slow motion. A lot of NFL guys say, Franco Harris used to say, man, it's slow motion in the preseason. Man, he said he thought he had it made when he came to the Steelers as a rookie in the preseason. He said, oh, man, I'm going to do my thing in this league. But he said when the week one, when they play that first regular season game and they go in full speed, Franco Harris said, oh, man, what the hell? He said, man, what? He said, whoa. He said, it's a totally different football, NFL, when the regular season starts. Franco Harris said he didn't know guys were going to try to take your head off. And he said, they were trying to kill me out there during the regular season. So you guys step your game up. The game is faster. The timing plays mean a lot. And that's why I think on Sunday, tomorrow, you're going to see a lot of drop passes. You're going to see teams making errors because they didn't get enough practice at speed, at game speed during the preseason. Now you step it up a notch where everybody's going totally all out, full speed. You got to make plays. And CeeDee Lamb, unfortunately, dropped about 3 passes that he should have caught, plays that he should have made. Normally he would make it. I think you're going to see CeeDee Lamb better in their next contest for the Cowboys. And if the Cowboys play the way they played, they're going to have a decent season. Because look like maybe that cloud of Micah Parsons, is he in or is he out? Is he in or is he out? Well, he's out. Look like that allowed Dak Prescott to become the team leader that he should have already been for the Dallas Cowboys. He's been in there 8-9 years. Come on, man, 10 years. He should have been the Cowboys leader. He's making $60 million a year. He's the highest paid quarterback in the National Football League. I mean, this man's getting $60 million to play. You damn sure should be leading. That $60 million should be letting you know in the locker room who's boss, that they're not cutting you. You should be up there leading the team. I thought it was a semi-well-played game. The Eagles continue to find a way to win. Jalen Hurts is an outstanding quarterback. He doesn't get, because he's not a flashy guy and he doesn't talk a lot of stuff. He just gets the job done. So he's a good quarterback. It is what it is. And get off of him and A.J. Brown into that pass. But A.J. Brown is a good player. A.J. Brown can get the job done. He only had one pass attempt towards him. Don't worry about that. Other games, I'm sure he's going to have 5, 6 of them, 10 of them. So don't worry about it. The Eagles' offense is got to continue what they do and run the ball. Jalen Hurts, as long as they stay away from injuries, they'll be all right. Cowboys, they'll be all right. They just got to come back and play like they played on Thursday night.
Right.
Now, you can't drop down to the level of your next opponent if they're not as good as you or equal to you. You can't drop down to that level. So that's the key thing, is what Schottenheimer is going to have to do. I saw a lot of motion. Man, it reminded me of the star back there. I haven't seen that much motion in the Cowboys in many years. So Schottenheimer is bringing something new to the table. He's bringing motion. They're moving guys around on the offensive before the snap of the ball. So it's going to be interesting to see how this Cowboy season projects. Internet Passport.
Radman, need your opinion on this. Need your expert opinion. When it comes to Jalen Hurts, there's been a lot of conversation about where his status is as a QB in today's NFL. Some people would say he's a quality starter. Some would argue to say that he's an elite talent. Where does Jalen Hurts fall into those different tiers of quarterbacks for you?
To me, well, I tell you one thing. He's a Super Bowl champion. That's what it says to me. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a quarterback that can win you a championship. I saw him play at Alabama. Hey, Alabama just don't put in, and that was back in the Nick Saban days. So he's definitely a very good football player. He's on the top of, he's in the top 10. He should be in the top 10. He's a Super Bowl champion. It's funny, most of these other guys aren't Super Bowl champions, and they got him ahead of them. They may be better talented quarterbacks of what you see, the prototype of an NFL quarterback, a Joe Burrows, a Josh Allen, and Lamar Jackson, who's kind of similar to Jalen Hurts, but it seems is throwing the ball much better, throwing the ball very well, and has taken his game to the next level. Those guys haven't won a championship, haven't won a chip yet. So this guy should be up there with those guys. As Morris Thompson says talking about the game. Hey, he's a good quarterback. He's a champion. Rick Merle, our guy saying that good quarterback and the champion. That's just what Jalen Hurts is. He's a good quarterback. He's a champion in the National Football League. So you can't take it away from him. And this segment is brought to you by Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper. Check out Challenger Community News each week. Pick it up at most businesses in the community. And check out my articles this week talking about the Bills season, kickoff season, and what's going to happen with the Bills going into the season. You can pick it up at most locations, most churches in the community, in the Black community, of course. You can pick it up there and pick it up at most businesses in the community here in the city of Rochester. So check out Challenger Community News. Buff, BuffChallNews.com, Sam.com, BuffChallNews.com. And email articles to editor at thechallengernews.com. Yes, indeed. Get them out to you. And I want to get into another one. I want to get to this baseball incident. Another one. Man, it's no time to have this on the field of play, Internet Passport. Houston Astros versus New York Yankees a couple nights ago. Pitcher and catcher got mixed up in their signals. The catcher was trying to stop the pitcher but he went into his windup. Framber Valdez, one of my favorite pitchers. I'm a Houston Astros fan, by the way. Framber Valdez, Toronto Blue Jays as well. Framber Valdez goes in his windup, throws the ball. The Yankee Grissom hitter, he hits it for a home run. Not only a home run, a grand slam. So the grand slam, it puts the game out of reach, most likely. He got long dreads. He's playing with his dreads off the side of the mound. He's steaming. You can see the steam coming out of his ears and nostrils. He gets up.
You knew something wasn't right. You watching it live. You knew something was right. Some type of communication issue was going on between pitcher and catcher. Obviously, the humans, they both make mistakes, but this seems real. What happened there seemed real egregious. So what else did you see out there, Radman?
What I saw was Valdez wind up with a fastball and threw the ball as hard as he could. And the ball and the catcher, for some, it locked him up. The catcher was looking for the ball being low, looked like, because he had his glove down low. He looked for a slider or something, and he threw a straight up fastball, and it hit the catcher right in his chest, right in his catching equipment, in his chest protector. And he gets up, takes his mask off, and looks at him, and comes from behind the plate. The batter and the umpire both wondering, man, what's going on here, man? You should saw the look on the batter's face for the Yankees. He was like, oh, man, we about to have something go jump off. Because back in the day, if that was Johnny Bench, don't let that be my man Juan Marichal. Somebody's ass would have got whooped. His Dominican behind would have got whooped right there on the field on national TV. He would have took an ass whooping on the field. How you gonna throw the ball on purpose and hit your catcher like that? And then he turned his back. He had the audacity to turn his back and walk back to the mound. Internet Passport. He turned his back on his catcher. He didn't even care if the man was hurt or anything. Man, I'm telling you, that young catcher was nervous. I would have came up there, took my mask off and glove. We would have been the manager and my teammates would have had to get me off that dude, man. We would have been throwing right there. Center. It would have been on, man. Right there.
Oh, Brad.
Whatever that stadium.
Oh no, man! Next thing you know, the mound is becoming the square circle, and the next thing you know, oh, good, it's just we don't need to go DEFCON, Brad, man. Not on the field, man. We're first spitting on the face now. Oh, we try to be a good sport, okay? But what do you think there? What do you think? You think will be the cause of this type of incident? That we rarely see. Sometimes it's communication issues. They go ahead, they speak, they reset, they get back into it. Obviously, it was a high pressure play that led to the error in the communication led to that grand slam. Really hate to see that. But how do you think it should have been handled after that egregious error was made?
He should have called time and called the catcher out to the mound and talk to his young catcher. It's a young guy. He's a rookie. They're saying that's another reason why he probably did. I would have told him, hey, man, what happened? Why whatever, and talk to him about it and say, all right, let's get out of here. And then we discuss it more when we get back to the dugout. But, man, you just don't take the ball and throw it and handcuff you know, he's thinking it's going to be a slider and you're going to throw a fastball. And man, I don't know what was with his reaction. You know, that ball coming 93, 94 miles an hour. You know, he should have got his glove up to deflect it or try to catch it or what, catching the ball that catchers do. But for the ball to hit me, it hit him in the chest like that, man. And then you're going to turn your back and walk and play with your hair. Yeah, I would have been playing with your dress too. Would have been grabbing him, coming with an uppercut. He would have learned what an uppercut is all about, man. Cesar Salazar, man, you should have came with a right hook, with an uppercut, and knock that dude out, man. Let the manager and them wheel him off, cart him off the diamond, man. That's unsportsmanlike, and you should never, just like spitting on the man, you should never do that. Little league ball players are watching. Big league ball players are watching. You don't do that. You call time. And I'm surprised the manager didn't call time right after it happened and came out before he threw the next pitch. Or as soon as he threw the pitch, he should have ran out from the dugout. The manager did. He didn't do nothing. I would have came out there, man. It would have been on, man. It would have been on. I'm so disgusted. I'm a Valdez fan. I was shocked. I was like, man, he would have had to get his ass whooped that night, man. I'm sorry, man. That's an ass whooping time right there, man.
Rad, man. I understand it would have been some battles. It was definitely something going on, and I have to agree there with Mr. Cheek there. Thank you for the comment there on Facebook. Something happened in that clubhouse we didn't see or hear about. You are absolutely correct, because when you see something like that, we definitely end up having a lot of questions about how something like that could happen. And soon I do want to end up getting an update from our other guest, man, J-GILLZ, when he ends up becoming available, just to get his opinion on here and when it comes to his thoughts. Okay, there he is, J-GILLZ. There we go. To get your thoughts on this situation here. I can't remember the last time we seen something like this, some type of incident there. Must have been a crazy week. First spitting, now throwing a fastball at your own catcher on your own team. What are your thoughts there to that incident there on the baseball field?
Man, well, you know, appreciate y'all each and every week right here in the Real Deal Sports Show. It's just crazy. I echo everything the Radman said. You know what I mean? Everything the Radman had to say, I totally agree with, because that's just egregious to do that to your own team. It's absurd. You know, from the spitting with Jalen Carter, I mean, absolutely ridiculous. And now we see this going on the baseball field. It's a shame.
Yeah. Yeah, it's totally uncalled for. It should not happen and these are professionals. These are highly paid, skilled athletes that we're talking about. They're role models for the young kids. And you don't want to see that in baseball. I umpire a lot of baseball games. I saw something come close to that in Little League in a tournament, a 12U tournament that was doing this past summer. And the catcher and pitcher got into it, and the coach recognized it, and he jumped. He called time, and I said I gave the time because he saw what I saw. The coach saw what I saw, and he went out there and he brought them both and put his arms on both the catcher and the pitcher's shoulder, and he talked to them on the mound, and got it straight. And that's what I thought the Astros manager should have did as soon as that happened, when he saw that dastardly act by Framber Valdez. He might be fined by the team. I know Framber Valdez did apologize. Later on the next day, he did issue an apology statement because he was totally wrong in that situation. And I agree with Morris Thompson on the Beltway down there in the D.C. area. I agree with what you're saying. They probably did have it in the clubhouse. They had to get that thing straightened out. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And we're gonna go quickly to a high school to a guest here. We got a guest with us here, a champion, first head coach of Gates Charlotte High School, Andre Fontenette. Good morning. Welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show.
What's up, fellas? How are you guys?
Excellent. Hey, your team, second-year coach. I saw you last year. You guys took a lot of lumps and bruises last year, but last night you put the beat down on Greece Arcadia out there. I was out there to see me and your dad out there. Of course, the legendary George Fontenette. We was out there to see the beat down. Who tell us about that number 1 and number 8? Man, where you get these? Hey, wait, we gotta go check. Where you get your players from the high school portal? What's going on, man?
Nah, man. I'll tell you what. Number 1, Caleb Giddens. He was on our squad last year and played a lot of receiver. And then towards the end of the season, I put him in at running back just to spell our running back that we had. And man, I said as soon as I saw him with the ball in his hands, I said, damn, maybe he should have been out there a little bit more all year round, because that kid is full of speed, full of effort, full of heart. And Caleb Giddens is going to put Section 5 on notice over the next couple of weeks for sure. Number 1, Caleb Giddens.
Yes, a lot of speed, man. I love his moves. I love his direction, or how he was directing traffic on that long touchdown run there in the third quarter there. Man, you guys put the game away. How does it take to take a team that won game last year and get them and get new players interjected with the current players that you have from last season to turn things around?
I mean, it's difficult, but we spent a lot of time between myself and our coaching staff with our kids throughout the off season, and really just putting in the work that we felt necessary. And we knew that we had some good skill positions, but really trying to develop our offensive line. We hired a new offensive line coach this year, and we're just trying to, like I said, develop that offensive line, and it seems to really have made a difference in terms of really what the kids were doing this off season. And that's really where it starts, is just trying to build that culture of accountability and consistency, and that's really what the kids have been trying to do over the past 6 months or so.
Excellent. And it's proven already. You can see it already that your team is improving and off to a good start. And on the defensive side of the ball, how's the defense coming along?
They're doing a great job. I mean, we got our defensive coordinator is a Gates graduate, Zane Howard, who graduated from Gates in 2000. And, I'm happy to have him on staff. And he's done a great job of really getting our defense prepared for every situation, and really just honing in on putting our kids in the best situation possible according to what the offensive formation is. Defensively, we're really strong up front in our defensive line and our defensive backfield, and we're looking to improve heavily at our linebacker position. But if we can put our linebackers in the same position as our defensive line and our defensive backfield, we could have something special going on. So we'll see.
Absolutely. Well, I'm very impressed with already this after one game this season. From what I saw last year to this year, it's almost night and day. Obviously, from what you're saying, Coach Andre Fontenette of Gates Chi-Li Spartans football team, you guys have put in the work. You did a lot of work during the offseason, bringing in new coaches, and obviously that offensive line looking great. Who do you guys play this coming Friday, next week?
We got a big one on Friday coming up this week. We got our home opener against Irondequoit. And, they put up a lot of points against us last year, and handled us pretty soundly. So we're looking to get back on the winning side of things against them. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a battle this coming Friday night. They won against Wilson last night, so we're both 1-0. And, as you can tell, I'm in my car. I'm already at the stadium. I'm already, on the grind, getting ready for the next game in the morning. So on to the next one. You have to quickly move forward and get going. So our kids are going to be in here in about a half hour for, we'll watch film from last night. We'll do team yoga. We have a yoga instructor come in, put the kids through a nice stretch session. And then as soon as that's over with, we're quickly on to the next game.
Wow, man.
Right.
Man. You hear this, J-GILLZ?
Absolutely. It's a blessing to see. Coach, you talked about the offseason, from last year. You really never stopped working with the kids. I got some ties in the program. My little cousin plays for you now. He was on the JV last year. He's playing varsity. He was at practice every day. It felt like he even had him lifting on Labor Day. Coach, you know what I mean? You don't play no games with it. How do you feel the program is truly developing, and what more is it going to take to really feel to really get that culture shifted as you were talking about before?
Jay, what's up, my man? It's good to see you, dog.
You too, bro. Miss y'all.
So the thing is that last year we had 27 kids on the team, so it was a struggle because all of our best players really had to go both ways. We went from 27 kids on the team last year to right now 42 kids on the team. We've jumped 15 more kids within the school that's now playing football. Our JV team this year has 44 kids, I believe, 44, 45 kids. Our modified team had 49 kids sign up to play football this year. So just having those numbers alone, I mean, we barely had enough uniforms to field everybody, but building the program through numbers and like I said, consistency and accountability is really going to make a difference for us. there's a ton of kids that are walking around Gates, New York, who aren't playing football that should be. And we're trying to get all those kids that should be playing football out on the field, trying to build our program and you know, build our school pride and go about it that way. We're just trying to invite everyone to come out, man, and try and jump on a train. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I love it, man. Building that culture, man. Building that culture back.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And congratulations and good luck next week. One last, in closing, I do want you to say something about a Syracuse SU. Are they going to be able to turn it around after that disappointing game? Well, it wasn't that disappointing against the University of Tennessee last week. How you think SU going to do?
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, I don't even know who they play this coming today. I assume they play today. But, you know, it was a tough one versus Tennessee, and I watched it. And, you know, Tennessee's a top 25 team. That's a tough team to open up against in the season, especially with a new quarterback, a couple new coaches. I'm curious to see what the quarterback does at Syracuse, just because there was a battle between, I think his name is Angeli, and the kid from LSU. The kid from Angeli was a transfer from Notre Dame, ended up winning the starting spot. But I'm not sure if that's going to be his position all season long or not. We're going to find out, man. I think it's a fluid situation over there at Syracuse. And I expect Coach Fran to, you know, to continue what he did last year. And they're going to be just fine. You can't win every game, but they'll be right where they want to be at the end of the season. I have full confidence in those guys.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I tell you, never sleeps. Coaches don't sleep on high school, college, or any level of football.
Nope. I got me a quick 5 hours, and I'm back on the grind.
And your Raiders looking all right. Pete Carroll got your boys looking all right.
Yeah, say it again, Jay, for everybody in the back.
I'm just saying, you got Gino, you got the whole crew. I'm just saying, the Chiefs looking a little vulnerable after last night.
Hey, that's a fact. That's a fact, man. Don't sleep on the Raiders, man. A lot of people have us as a team that might surprise some people this year, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how it all shakes down. Hey, I'll be at the Bills Patriots game in a couple weeks, the late night game. I'll be rivals, there checking them out. And I don't know, I'm not a fan of either team, but I'm supporting one of my boys who's getting married, so it's his bachelor party. So I'll be there in full spirit. I might be there wearing my Raiders gear. You never know.
You never know. There you go. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Coach Andre Fontenette, ex-starting tight end at Syracuse University that knows all about Syracuse and also knows about coaching. Congratulations and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys. Talk to you soon.
All right. Please continue to like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook at Real Deal Sports Show. Hit the bell icon for notifications. Real Deal Sports Show. Like and subscribe to us. Also, check out the website, realdealsportshow.com. Realdealsportshow.com. Check out the winner's edge. Check out the new features we have on there for sure. Also, the next segment coming up is brought to you by the award-winning Rivera Insurance Agency, Auto, Home, Health, Life Insurance. 1038 Lyle Avenue, 511 B and Road, Suite B. Give her a call. 360-0094. If you're looking for a job, she's looking for someone licensed. If you're not licensed, she's looking for a secretary in that office. So make sure if you're looking for a job, a job, check her out, 360-0094, area code 585-360-0094. If you're looking for a job or if you're looking to get the best coverage in town for the reasonable price for your auto, home, health, and life insurance, give our friend Mary Rivera a phone call. She'll save the Radman family a hell of a lot of money. I guarantee you she'll save you and your family a hell of a lot of money as well. J-GILLZ, look who we have next. We're going into our Buffalo Bills segment.
You're pulling up all the Syracuse folks.
We're going back. Another Syracuse, a star defensive back from the university, former star defensive back at Syracuse University. You know he was on Channel 8. Now he's on Channel 4, WIVB over there in Buffalo, New York. Sportscaster Carl Jones. Welcome back to Real Deal Sports Show. How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm blessed. I'm super duper blessed. I was telling some people earlier this week, the first 2 weeks, the past 2 weeks or whatever, it's felt like the appetizer, right? High school football is back. College football is back. I love college football. It's my favorite sport. But it's a little different when the NFL is back, right? The energy, the air shifts it a little bit. Dogs start barking for no reason outside. I'm looking outside right now. I don't know why people are outside. I guess they know the Bills playing tomorrow night, man. It's just the energy is just different in the air this time of year, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, they ready to get tailgating over there in Buffalo. They ready to get going out shopping, going to get their items, getting ready to get down with the tailgate. Now, that's what they tailgate at home all over Buffalo. Not only out at the stadium, but all over the place. So they're getting it on, getting it ready. And I know you've been out there at the camp, the Bills, not training camp, but also now in Buffalo. What's going on the secondary? You're an expert defensive back. Who do you think is going to start tomorrow night in the Bills' defensive secondary?
So they've listed Tre'Davious White as doubtful, but I highly doubt that he'll play. It's very, very rare. And honestly, I can't think of an occurrence off the top of my head where a player who didn't practice all week still played in the game on Sunday. And that will be what the Bills will be asking of Tre'Davious White. So without him, I got a good inkling they're going to roll with the rookie, Dorian Strong, 6th-round pick out of Virginia Tech. Big boy. I actually recognize it. I mean, you can look at a sheet of paper and see these guys throughout camp and see their size. But he walked past me the other day, and Benford's a big boy, as y'all know. And when he walked past me, I was like, oh, damn. Okay, he ain't no small little boy. So I think they're really excited about what he can bring to the table. Any player that you speak to, they're saying, like, yeah, he's ready. He's going to rise to the occasion. Coaches have said the same as well, especially over the past 2 weeks. So, hey, sink or swim, right? You get thrown into the deep end first game of your NFL career. Obviously, it's a much different level, but I do remember back in my career, my real, I guess, my second game, but my real substantial amount of snaps that I saw was against some guy by the name of Lamar Jackson on national TV too. Now, to be fair, we lost by 40 and gave up like 700 total yards. So, like, I don't think that happened on Sunday night, but I can somewhat relate to what Dorian's going through a little bit, where it's your first big time, it's your first opportunity to see some snaps in the league, and you're going up against some damn superhero.
Yeah, and hopefully Dorian Strong can do it.
Redman. Well, hold on. Wait a second, man. Something ain't adding up here. Something ain't adding up. I need to get to the bottom of this. Carl, please tell me. Because it just seems
you don't
like
find that suspicious.
I'm just wondering why it seems like Brandon Beane. You know, sometimes you go to the used car lot and then you see the vehicles out there. It always seems like it's the same models. You're familiar with it. We all know the issues that they have, and it seems like Brandon Beane just ends up being, you know what, I want to fix a upper. Hey, man, I don't care if it keeps having the same issues over and over, and it's may end up being down. I can fix it and put it out there for a little bit. And unfortunately, that ends up being my opinion of Trey White. Hey, good guy, good brother, but hey, this knee injury, hey, he was out. We haven't seen him. It's just been a whisper. He's been doubtful in practice. But I'm wondering why, and this is what I want to get your opinion on. You're right, they end up having Dorian Strong, you know, rookie, tall guy, you know, has that size. But we also saw him in the preseason, and I thought, had some areas of improvement. But I'm wondering why.
Chicago, he left his jockstrap got left on the field into that passport in Chicago, man. Oh, my Lord.
And I'm trying to see why Dorian Strong, because they also have the veteran there on the team, Jamarcus Ingram there, that could be opposite the side of Christian Benford. And they also have veteran Dane Jackson there on the practice squad as well. Why do you think why are you leaning towards Strong versus those other veterans that they have on the roster?
To be quite frank with you, we still don't know. They have not come out and said who will start in place of Trey White. I mean, they still haven't said Trey White's not going to play, but they haven't come out and said who's going to play what. But based off of the stuff that we've seen at practice, I have a good hunch that it will be Strong. And I think a reason why you may lean with him over Ingram or Dane Jackson is the fact that if they're even, if the three of those guys are even or somewhat even close, as a coaching staff, you'll tend to go with the youngest player because he should have the most growth potential. He should. I'm not saying that's the case. I think Jamarcus Ingram still has a long way to go in terms of he can get a lot better. He's a long player. He's rangy. He's athletic. But I think that's probably their thinking. Like, let's just say that in terms of preparation, Jamarcus Ingram's at an 8. Just not talent, but preparation. Ingram's at an 8. Dane's at a 9. And, like, Dorian's, like, at a 7. I feel like if Dorian's close enough to the rest of those guys, they're like, you know what? we feel comfortable that he can go out there and execute everything that we're asking of our defense.
And what happened with the Bills defense? First, it was Khair Elam a few years ago, drafted highly in the first round. You end up going Christian Benford. You draft him in the 6th or 7th round. He ended up being making All-Pro. You sign him. You extend him to a brand new contract. And now you got Maxwell Harrison, first round. He's not playing already. He's out 4 weeks with a knee that we saw that he was injured at St. John Fisher University on a non-contact play. And now you have another 6th or 7th round draft pick coming in. Potentially starting. What is it about Brandon Beane not being able to get it at the top, but finding guys down at the bottom of the draft? Normally, the 6th or 7th round guys, usually you're filling out your training camp. You're not expecting those guys to make the team. Carl, what is it about Brandon Beane and his scouting department?
Yeah, I don't know. To fully flesh out what you just said, because you're preaching to the choir right here. In terms of 10 through 53, there are 53 active players on the roster. I don't know how many teams in football have better players from the 10th player to the 53rd player because of what you just laid out. The Bills are really good towards the end of the draft. They know how to fill out a roster. They're second and third teamers, although it didn't show in this preseason, but they're usually are really good. They're really strong. The problem is 1 through 9 is where they lack a little bit, some of that top end talent. And then when you miss on a Khair, when Dawson Kincaid doesn't necessarily level up to expectations, not saying Keon Coleman can't be a good wide receiver, but to this point, he hasn't shown that he is a top upper echelon wide receiver. You take Ed Oliver in the first round, who is still a really good defensive tackle, but he's not Chris Jones. When you take when you take a Greg Rousseau in the first round, who is a good defensive end, but he's not Myles Garrett. I know that's lofty expectations, but bear with me here.
Right.
1 through 9, they haven't really hit on the players who are S-tier superstar players. And that's, in my opinion, one of the main reasons why they fell short in the postseason. Yes, they've had coaching blunders. Yes, they've been super duper close. But when you get to the postseason, I'm a big believer in that. The regular season, I can coach. There's a certain threshold that a good coach can get you. There's a reason why Mike Tomlin is always in the postseason, because coaching can take you there. But once we get to the party, I'm gonna need some talent. I'm gonna need some Jimmys and Joes, right? And I don't know the scouting department, but they haven't hit, at least on the high end of those guys in the first 2 rounds. Now, to be fair, they've gotten some real deal killers later on. I love Benford. Spencer Brown is a hell of a right tackle. Dion wasn't this regime, and obviously they hit the Holy Grail in Josh Allen. But yes, there's a lot of weight to what you just said.
Yeah, because they want to pat this guy on the back, and it's like if you go back to Doug Whaley's last draft with the Buffalo Bills, he drafted Deion Dawkins, Matt Milano. He drafted guys, and Tre'Davious White. He wanted to draft Mahomes, but was talked out of drafting Mahomes by the head coach, Sean McDermott, who wanted a drop back passer. He wanted to start his team, surround his team with a defensive player, and he drafted Tre'Davious White instead. People got to remember that. People try to forget it and act like that was Doug Whaley's last draft. You got 2 guys that have been consistent all pros, Deion Dawkins and Matt Milano with the Buffalo Bills. Tre'Davious White was an all pro, and until his injuries set him back. So Doug Whaley did a hell of a job with the top picks. His last 2 years, you go back to his last 2 years, there are still guys that Doug Whaley drafted with Buffalo Bills still playing in the National Football League for other teams. And listeners out there in West New York, listen up, because don't drink the coffee and the Kool-Aid that you've been getting from one Bills drive. This guy is not a great general manager. Is he decent? Is his team should have made? Yeah, they should have made the Super Bowl with the 13-second game. That was where Buffalo's Super Bowl era should have been there. They should have at least reached that pinnacle of a Super Bowl back, losing it. How you lose in 13 seconds? That's a whole another show. We can talk all day about that one. But this guy, Brandon Beane, you got, man, Boogie Basham. He just got cut from his 3rd team, and you drafted him in the 2nd round. Remember Boogie Basham? Man, where? This goes back to my era, Walt Patulski. All these guys the Bills used to draft back in the day, bums, man. They used to draft bums. back in the day, man. Remember Walt Patowski, #1 draft pick out of Notre Dame? Didn't do a damn thing for the Bills, man. Didn't do nothing, man. Absolutely nothing. Man, this guy here.
Rad man.
Yeah. Let's get back to today.
But one thing I know we like to go ahead and take a look there into the past, but the Bills got a big game coming up there. You have the Baltimore Ravens coming into town, and Buffalo's going to have their hands full. The one thing I noticed there, at least on offense, they're saying that the Ravens fullback, Patrick Ricard, has not been practicing. So they're a fullback, a position that's not really used unless you're going to run the ball with Derrick Henry. Hey, Buffalo may have a little bit of an edge there. But when it comes to their keys to success, Mr. Jones, what do you say will be the number one thing the Bills will have to do to win versus the Baltimore Ravens?
I'll give you one on each side of the ball. I'll start when Josh Allen has the ball in his hands. They're going to have to win against man coverage. They're going to have to win those one-on-one opportunities. Earlier this week, and he's not wrong, Josh Allen said they have 5 first-round picks in the secondary. The Baltimore Ravens do. And I'll just rattle them off real quick for the people at home. Jair Alexander, I think he will play. He's a former first-round pick. Played him in college. That boy is nice. Kyle Hamilton just got paid $100 million. Y'all know who he is. Right next to him is a rookie, and Malachi Starks from the University of Georgia. And the slot will be Marlon Humphrey from the University of Alabama. And then finally, the young bull from Clemson, Nate Wiggins. That is 5 first-round picks in the secondary. So when you have that type of talent, the Ravens are like, yep, we trust our 5 versus anybody in the damn National Football League. So if you're the Bills, you're going to have to figure out ways to get your guys open. That's what you draft a Keon Coleman for. That's what you draft a Dalton Kincaid for. That's what you bring a Josh Palmer from the West Coast back home to Orchard Park. Those 3 guys in particular, and not saying Khalil Shakir is not uber important, he is, but his game is more yak and zone, finding the soft spots in the defense. Those 3 guys I mentioned are going to have to be the drivers of success for the Bills passing game, because they're going to test their gangster. I remember last year, they threw the ball down the left sideline a whole lot to Keon Coleman. He just wasn't able to bring them down in contested catch situations. They can't have that happen again on Sunday night. So the Ravens going to test their gangster. Is all on the Buffalo Bills to see if they can swing back on offense. On the other side of the ball, this sounds super simple, but when you play against the Ravens and Lamar Jackson and King Henry, simple is probably all you need to be. You got to tackle in space and get population to the football. Let me break that down for you. When you say population to the football, that means, listen, I know I'm a grown man, and I know all these players are grown men, but they going to make the first guy miss. That they are all pros. They are gold jacket wearers for a reason. So we need population. We need 2, 3, 4 guys to the football. We need to no loafs. We need to hustle to the ball so that if my man doesn't bring him down on the first try, we got population there to do it as well. And then also, when you think about those 2 players in particular, how many times has a opportunity to have a 2nd and 8 turns to 2nd and 2 because you missed the first tackle? That's going to be huge, making sure that the Ravens stay behind the sticks and a 3rd and 9 stays a 3rd and 9 and it doesn't become a first down or doesn't become a 3rd and 2. So you're going to have to tackle in space and get population to the football against this Ravens offense because they are super dangerous in the open field. I still got nightmares of what number 8 did to me my 2 years in college and trying to tackle that brother in space. And I remember coach yelling at me, and I'm looking back at him like, you clearly don't know who he is, because he can cut off the wrong foot, and he's still running 4.3, and he's strong as hell. So yes, those are my 2 keys to the game that the Bills are going to have to execute if they want to leave Week 1 with a win.
Wow, on paper, team in the league. I don't know why people don't. You look at the roster from top to bottom. Even with Picard has been ruled out with an injury, as well as Lively, the tight end / wide receiver. Lively always has a good game against the Bills for some reason. The game last year in Baltimore, he just went off in that game. But those 2 guys are ruled out. But they still got so much talent on the offensive line. Ronnie Staley, one of my favorite. Carl, what's stopping them from getting to the Super Bowl?
Them. And respectfully, I think the Bills are a fantastic team, and I would not be surprised if they're, and I know this is crazy because people have been saying this for the past like 40 years about them, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the year they finally climb the mountaintop for the Buffalo Bills' sake. But when you look at the Ravens on paper, they don't have a weakness, a glaring weakness, I would say. Every team has something that you can punch out a little bit. But the Ravens' issue last year, as well as a few years back, their brains shut off like in the postseason. And I say that with all due respect. Like that first interception of Taylor Rapp, I don't know what Lamar ever saw. There was nothing the Bills did that tried to trick him. He just tossed it deep. I don't know. And then I don't know how he lost the ball. I mean, it was a snow game maybe, but why are we trying to extend the play when Lamar is grabbing your legs? I don't know. So when you look at their team, they have a dude. Like they have at least a Pro Bowl caliber player in every unit when you think about their quarterback, their running backs, their tight ends. Zay Flowers is trying to kick on the door of being in that conversation. Their centers and all pro. The defensive linemen, linebackers, I talked about the secondary. They got guys everywhere. But when they get to the postseason, brains just shut off for like 1 or 2 moments a game. And as we all know, when you get to the postseason, the margins are super thin. And that's why they haven't been able to get to the big dance because yeah, you can't just lose the ball inexplicably in the snow and expect to advance to the AFC title game.
And Mark Andrews helped them out too with a couple of drops.
Oh, I forgot.
Fumble at midfield, and then the 2-point conversion drop. I expect Mark Andrews to be much better tomorrow. They just shoot themselves in the foot. It seems. What's your score? The final score for tomorrow's game?
Woo, man. I've been going back and forth on this one because, like y'all just mentioned, not having Ricard and Likely is huge. The Ravens like to play big. They like to be the big bullies on the block and run the ball down your throat with those big personnels, which is funny because people associate big with slow. Ricard is fast as hell to be 290 pounds, and Isaiah Likely is a boy that can move. Having said that, I do think styles make fights, and I don't know the style that the Bills bring to the table can really punch, at least in week 1. We'll see how things look later on in the season. I think the Ravens can match them in the back end. I really like the Ravens personnel in the secondary, which will probably be the best secondary in football in 2025. I think they'll give them enough troubles on offense, and even without Ricard and Likely, I think that Lamar will figure out a way to make something shake. Give me 31-27, Ravens get it done. They stop the Bills on a late game drive.
All right, Carl Jones. Check them out on TV. And also that Buffalo pregame show, your Buffalo Live, you're on there too. So you can check them out here in Rochester and throughout Western New York on Buffalo Live. Thank you for joining Real Deal Sports Show. We look back to having you back for your expert analysis.
Yes, sir. Hey, by the way, y'all see what's behind me. And if y'all listening at home and you can't see me, go Qs, go Orange. We're bouncing back this week, baby.
All right. All right. You heard it. Thank you. And BacSpin, welcome back to the show. BacSpin is back in. Quick picks. I got the Ravens beating the Bills 24-17, 24-17. I got the Ravens winning this game tomorrow evening. The Bills secondary is not this Buffalo team won't get it until after the bye week, week 8. I figure week 10 or 11 is when you really get to see what this Bills team can really do. You got 2 players out on performance-enhancing drug suspension for 6 games, Larry Ogumbi and Michael Hoyt on defense. Cornerbacks are injured. I see the Bills losing this one definitely tomorrow. The Ravens are coming in. They're upset about what happened there. Their last game was in Buffalo, so they remember it. I think it's just a bad match. The Bills never can really match up truly against the Ravens. The Ravens have to make mistakes in order for the Bills to win. So that's my pick right there. And the winner's edge, drop dead pick of the week, Arizona Cardinals, getting 6.5 points. I got the Arizona Cardinals beating the New Orleans Saints in the Superdome. The Saints reverse back to the Aints. They can't afford players because they still playing Drew Brees. They're in cap hell. They got to get a way to get out of cap hell, and this is going to be a bad season for the Saints. Look for Arizona to pull that out. And I like the Giants, New York Football Giants defense getting 7 points against the Washington Commanders on Sunday. Those are 2 of my drop-dead picks. But go to RealDealSportsShow.com and check out all my picks. BacSpin, how you doing? Internet Passport.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How y'all doing, man? How y'all doing?
Great.
Man, we
Great.
doing good.
Were you happy with your Cowboys' performance on Thursday?
I was happy with everybody's performance except the number 88. If you're gonna wear the number 88, you damn well better make those plays. You damn well better catch them balls. Michael Irvin would never, ever would have dropped them balls. That's why he's called the playmaker. Because when it's time to step up and make a play and put your team in a position to win, that's what you do. That's what. And the hell with Stephen A. Because I can't. Oh man, he gonna talk so much junk on Monday on First Take. But everybody's performance was great. Dak played phenomenal. His yardage didn't show it as far as his passing yards, but because balls was being dropped left and right all over the field. Ferguson dropped the ball right in the end zone. There's a touchdown. Miles Sanders, known for fumbling the damn football, and you still give him the ball on the goal line. Once he got us down there, should have took him back out, put Williams back in. He was running the ball very, very well Thursday night. No reason why he shouldn't have been back in the game at that moment. No reason why, in my opinion. And then CD just dropped way too many critical play catches when it came down to the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, and Dallas should have and could have and would have won this game had those events that I just said did not occur. But
BacSpin, it's all right, man. This is for your Cowboys, man. It's okay. It's okay. Just getting started off getting spit on, and then dropping balls, running, and getting up out of there.
Yeah, and that's probably why we did so well, and Williams did so well, because old boy was out of the game early. Dak didn't get sacked one time, and that's probably due to that. But that's here nor there. They had to play the game. They played the game, and CD just didn't come up with the catches when we needed them, and that's the reason why we are 0-1 right now to start the season. But I'm optimistic. Maybe we could turn it around as far as CD getting his hands together. And, hey, Dak did what he was supposed to do. That's your number one receiver. You got to go to him. You can't wear 88 and not catch them balls. That's just my thing. You got 88 on your chest, man. Play like you're 88. Drew Pearson would have never, ever dropped that ball. Yeah, Dez Bryant would have dropped 3 of them. Dez might have dropped 1, but he wouldn't have dropped the 3 that he dropped. He wouldn't have dropped 3. And yeah, he took accountability, but what else is he gonna say? We all seen it. You know what I mean? So
this week,
it is what it is. We got to get up out of here. We're up against it, fellas. I appreciate y'all, man. Real Deal Sports Show. Thank you, Radman, for letting me, get my little rant.
Got you.
Always on Real Deal Sports Show. Like, comment, and subscribe on YouTube and Facebook. Shout out to you, BacSpin, our resident Cowboys fan / Cowboy punching bag. Just join the dark side and become a Buffalo Bills fan.
Hey, Bills, I'll root for the Bills until they play Dallas.
There you go.
So we play them regular season, I think, once every 4 to 5 years. And the next time we'll see him is in the Super Bowl. So, hey, that's the only time I won't root for Buffalo. But,
there you go.
Appreciate y'all, man. Keep it where you need it. Rock City, Real Deal Sports Show every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. right here on the beat. We'll be right back with the Bag of Time Mix Show.
Take it.